Order of operations for real numbers. As mathematicians, we all agree to follow the same rules as the order in which we solve a problem. We agree that we're going to do whatever's inside the parentheses first. An absolute value that we've learned about in this chapter is treated the same way. We do what's inside the absolute value symbol before we go on to combining it in other ways. Next step is always to do exponents or square roots, and then multiplication or division as they appear from left to right. Left to right, we move left to right, and that's the same way we read. After we finish multiplication or division left to right, then we do our addition or subtraction as they appear left to right. All right, so let's start with this problem. Negative 16 divided by negative 4 multiplied by negative 5. Now, we do what's in the parentheses first, and we do have parentheses, but this has already been reduced as far as it can go inside the parentheses, negative 4 and negative 5, and we just keep the parentheses to emphasize that this is multiplication. All right, so now we don't have any exponents, so our next step is to do multiplication or division as they appear from left to right. So we start here, negative 16 divided by a negative 4. Negative 16 divided by a negative 4, that gives me two negatives, gives me a positive. 16 divided by 4 will give me a positive 4. That's what these two combine to be. And then we multiply that by a negative 5. And so in the end this will equal negative 20. Negative 20 is the solution to this problem. Now let's just see. We did it left to right. Would it be the same if we did it and we multiplied first before we divided? Well, let's see. So is this the same? The same thing. So if we multiplied first there, we would have had negative, or two negatives make a positive. We'd leave the negative 16. Divided by negative 4 times the negative 5 is a positive 20. Is negative 16 divided by negative 4 multiplied by negative 5 the same thing as negative 16 divided by 20? All right, well, we can change this into negative 16 divided by a positive 20, and so we now can reduce this fraction. I have a negative. I can see there's a 4 in both. I can reduce this by dividing 16 by 4 and getting 4, dividing 20 by 4 and getting 5. So is 4/5, negative 4/5, the same as negative 20? It is not the same. And that is why we follow the rules, because we want to make sure we get the correct answer. They are not the same. Okay, let's do some more, and we'll just follow the rules and see what we get to. Okay, so here are two more problems that we'll do. 12 plus 14 minus 16, the quantity squared, divided by negative 4. First thing we do is what's inside the parenthesis, so I'll just rewrite the 12 so I don't forget it, plus what's inside here, 14 minus 16. We find the difference between them, that's 2. The sign will be negative, so 14 minus 16 is negative 2 squared divided by negative 4. Next step is to get rid of or to handle our exponent. 12 just is there. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. I have two negatives. That gives me a positive, so this is positive 4. And then divided by negative 4. Next step is to do our multiplications and divisions left to right. Well, I only have 4 divided by a negative 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. Since I have one negative, this will be negative 1. 12 plus negative 1. And I'll just put parentheses around it to keep that separate. 12 plus a negative 1, that's our last step, and this will be 11. The difference, we have two numbers of different signs, and so to combine them, we take the smaller from the larger, so 12 minus 1 is 11, and then we apply the sign of the greater. 12 is positive, so my solution will be positive. And the answer to that one is 11. All right, let's try another one. So 4 plus 2 multiplied by the quantity 9 plus the quantity negative 4 plus 12. All right, this is a good one. First, we have to do what's inside the parenthesis. This square one is called a bracket, and it's just another way of writing a parenthesis. We write the inside ones with curves and the outside ones with square corners. Okay, so 4 plus 2 times, and then we'll change this into a parenthesis because we're going to eliminate the inside parenthesis. 9 plus, here I have negative 4 plus 12. I have two different signs, so I find the difference between them. 12 minus 4 is 8. 12 is the greater, and it is positive, so this will be positive 8. All right, I still have another parenthesis to deal with, so I'm going to now write 4 plus 2 multiplied by the quantity 9 plus 8. That is going to give me 17. So now I have 4 plus, I do my multiplication here, 2 times 17, that's 34. And then I finally do my addition. 4 plus 34 is 38. And I should put equal signs here so that we know that I am continuing down. And the answer to that one is 38. All right, let's look at one with absolute value in it. So 5 squared minus the absolute value of 10 plus a negative 8. All right, so the first thing we do is do what's inside here. So 5 squared minus the absolute value of 8 plus 10 plus a negative 8. This is just going to be the absolute value of 2, and the 5 squared minus the absolute value of 2 is 2. 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 2 equals 23. Moving on and doing one more with an absolute value. And another thing to note is that when we have fractions, we treat the numerator as if it has a parenthesis around the entire numerator, and we treat the denominator as if it has a parenthesis around the whole denominator. So we deal with that before we reduce or anything else with our fraction. All right, so first thing is parentheses. The parentheses down here are just indicating that we have multiplication, but the absolute value up here, that's as if it's a parenthesis, and we'll have to take care of that first. So first of all, we have the absolute value, 3 plus a negative 5. That gives me the absolute value of negative 2. And then down here I can look at this. They're almost like they're two separate problems. We look at the numerator and reduce it as much as we can using the order of operations, and then we do the same thing for the denominator. So I can take this one step here and say this is 4 minus, the first thing I do down here is do this multiplication. So 3 multiplied by a negative 2 gives me a negative 6, and I have the opposite of a negative 6. So on my next step here, I have to take the absolute value of negative 2. The absolute value, again, is the distance from 0 to the number. So between 0 and negative 2, there is 2 spaces. And because distance is always positive, that will be positive 2. And here I have 4 minus a negative 6, and I know that when I subtract, that's the same as adding the opposite. So if I add the opposite of a negative 6, the opposite of negative 6 is a positive 6. So this is the same as 4 plus the opposite of negative 6, which is 6. All right, now I can reduce this or combine the bottom even further. So my top is as much combined as I can get it. Down here I have 10, and this is 2/10, but that isn't reduced to lowest terms. I know that because I have both of them are even, and so I know I can find a common factor of 2 in both. So I have a 2 in the numerator that cancels with the 2 in the denominator, and I'm left with 1/5 as my final solution. So as mathematicians, it's important that we follow the rules for doing our operations in the order that everyone else assumes so that we get the correct answer.